Brazil is a land of frontiers and contrasts, from its beautiful cities to the Amazon River and the vast unexplored forest it flows through. The Amazon basin has the world's largest rainforest. Settlements have barely made a dent here, only along the river, but there are new communities developing. There are some roads. The Trans-Amazonian Highway is one of them. It'll connect the northeast coast of Brazil to the Pacific Ocean through Peru. The highway will help people make contact possible with many Indian tribes who live deep in the forest. The forest has made reaching them difficult. Few people speak their Indian languages, and few Indians speak Portuguese, the language of Brazil. In 1976, the whole Amazon basin was surveyed for the first time. It was discovered that the region wasn't all flat, like the area down below is now, but hilly and even mountainous in places. And there were indications that the hills and mountains are rich in minerals. It's an area of many resources, and the Amazon River itself is one of the most important of them. It is wide and navigable for great distances, but the tropical heat is a problem, and so is disease. The Amazon is only one of many rivers that link together to form the Amazon River Basin. The basin is part of several countries of South America, but most of it lies in Brazil. It's nearly half of the country. Outside the basin, they mine. They dam their highland rivers for power. They farm. They have their busy, beautiful cities like Rio de Janeiro. They have their cities. They have their ranches and farms. Half of South America's people are Brazilians. Brazil is a big country with a variety of climates. Tropical regions with little rain, and tropical regions with much rain. In the north and north-central areas, they grow tropical fruits like mangoes and papayas and bananas. Half of all the bananas raised in South America come from here. 3 of their major exports are agricultural products: coffee, cotton, and cacao. Brazilians grow 1/3 of the world's coffee in this area that's around Sao Paulo, their largest city. Coffee is their principal money crop. They grow coffee on large plantations they call fazendas. The ripe berries are processed on the fazenda and then sent to a nearby city. They also grow cotton on large fazendas. Much cotton is still picked by hand, though mechanization is increasing. Some of the cotton is used in their own textile industry. From the cities that are the centers for the agricultural areas around them, coffee and cotton are shipped to Sao Paulo. From here, they go to Santos, the chief port for the East Central region. Goods have been exported from Santos to Europe ever since the time the Portuguese first settled in Brazil. Then the main export was gold. Today, it is coffee. Santos is not their only port, of course. North of here is the port of Salvador in northeastern Brazil, another collecting center for one of the big export crops, cacao beans. Cocoa and chocolate are made from them. Salvador has a more tropical climate. Salvador handles the cacao trade because cacao trees grow only in a hot climate, and as you can see, the equator is not far away. We are now in the tropics. These groves of cacao trees stretch for miles. After harvesting the pods, The workers slice them open and remove the beans. The beans are what they use. They're dried in the sun. Eventually, they'll be exported. Further north, closer to the equator, the carnauba palm tree grows. Hard carnauba wax comes from these leaves. After the leaves are dried in the hot tropical sun, their wax coating dries into a powder which is scraped off and collected. The powder will be refined and then used in polishes and various kinds of waxes. Coastal steamers still collect agricultural products of the northern tropical region and bring them to factories in the industrial cities of the South, although trucking is becoming more and more important. In the South, ships, trucks, and freight trains transport most of the goods to cities like Sao Paulo. But Sao Paulo is more than an agricultural center. It's a center of heavy industry, too. Industries here depend on their huge deposits of high-grade iron ore. They have 1/10 of the world's supply, but they have to import coal to make steel. They have some oil. They mine manganese, chrome, quartz, zircon, and industrial diamonds. What lies in their vast western forests, they don't know yet. Meanwhile, they live along and near the eastern coast, and here their important cities have grown. Recife, Salvador, Belo Horizonte, Rio de Janeiro, Porto Alegre, and Sao Paulo, which may one day be the largest city in the world. Sao Paulo is like any great city. It is many things at once: parks and buildings, people at work in light industry and heavy industry. Factories, office buildings, apartments and homes. Sao Paulo keeps growing. The Brazilians want all their country to keep growing too. That is why they built Brasilia in the unpopulated highlands. It officially became the capital in 1960. They designed Brasilia to be a city of the future. Judge for yourself. They built a university here. In these buildings, government work goes on. It takes many government workers to do the job. That meant the government had to build places for them to live, and they did. Some of the places are homes for families away from the main part of Brasilia, and some are huge apartment superblocks where thousands of people live. The people of Brasilia are all pioneers. They've all come to settle in a frontier region far from their homes near the coast. There are shopping centers here, theaters, the sort of things the people would find in any of their big cities. The success of Brasilia means a great deal to Brazilians. It's a sign that their frontier regions can be conquered, and that statue honors the people who helped them do it. They are Brazilians, a mixture of many cultures. At first, Indian, Portuguese, African. More recently, Arabs and Japanese and other ethnic groups have added their cultures. Now, they are all Brazilians, working together to develop their country, Brazil, the land of half a continent.